The world is beautiful and life is meant to be enjoyed to the fullest. So, as you navigate through life and travel around the world, make sure you stay out of danger and dangerous places. The consequences are usually fatal. In today's video, we will share with you the 10 most dangerous countries in the world in 2024. And we will tell why these locations are not safe. Ensure you stick around to the end of this video. Welcome to our channel, where we take you around the world without a visa. We create informative and educational videos about different countries and locations. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Remember to smash the bell icon so that you will be notified each time we drop a new video. Without further delay, let's check out the list. Number 10, Ukraine. One country you shouldn't dare to visit right now is Ukraine. This nation is not a very safe place for travelers because it's dealing with a lot of insecurities. Aside from Russia's invasion for more than 2 years, the country is stuck between two sides, with tensions between Eastern and Western influences. This tension became more intense in 2014, when Russia took control of Crimea, a region in Ukraine. This caused a lot of conflict, with thousands of people getting hurt or having to leave their homes. Even though there have been efforts to make things better, Ukraine still has problems with its government and corruption, and its economy is not doing well. The conflict has made things worse, causing prices of things to go up, many people to lose their jobs, and more people to live in poverty. There are also armed groups and movements trying to break away from Ukraine, which adds to the risks for travelers. While some steps are being taken to fix these issues, Ukraine is still not a very safe place for people from other countries to visit in 2024. Number 9, Russia. Without any doubt, Russia is a fierce country, where danger means nothing or just part of its system. As a traveler, this location isn't safe for you for many reasons. Remember, heavy sanctions are also levied on the world's largest country. The country's foreign policy can be aggressive, like when it took over Crimea from Ukraine in 2014, which made a lot of other countries angry. Russia has also been accused of interfering in other countries' elections, making it seem unpredictable politically. A lot of Russians are not agreeing with what the government of the day, led by Putin, has been up to. Sometimes the government doesn't treat them fairly. There have even been reports of the government doing illegal things like killing people or violating their rights. Some areas within Russia, like Chechnya, have a lot of conflict and violence. There are groups there that don't want to be part of Russia, and they cause problems. Crime is also a big issue in Russia, with lots of corruption and shady deals happening in both government and business. Given all these issues, it's best to avoid traveling to Russia because it's not a stable or safe place for visitors. Number 8, Mali. Mali is a troubled place with a lot of unrest that can make it unsafe for travelers. The country has a history of political instability because of military takeovers and conflicts. This makes the situation uncertain and shaky. Terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State have taken advantage of this instability, especially in the northern and central parts of Mali, to do violent attacks on regular people and the police or army. Aside from the political issues, Mali also has a lot of crime, especially in its capital city Bamako. Crimes such as armed robbery, theft, and car theft happen frequently there. Another concern is that some landmines and bombs haven't exploded yet, especially in the north, which can be dangerous for travelers. On top of all that, Mali has had outbreaks of serious diseases like cholera, meningitis, and Ebola. These diseases can spread quickly and cause a lot of harm. Because of all these dangers, many countries, including the United States, are warning people not to travel to Mali unless it's necessary. It's essential for anyone thinking of going there to understand these risks and take precautions for their safety. Number 7, Somalia. If you really value your life, Somalia isn't one of the locations you should consider visiting, and we will tell you why. This country is a highly dangerous and challenging environment for travelers and residents alike. The country has been marred by prolonged political instability, leading to a state of lawlessness and anarchy. This situation has created a power vacuum that various armed groups, including the notorious Al-Shabaab, have sought to exploit. Al-Shabaab, an Islamist militant group affiliated with Al-Qaeda, is also a significant threat, carrying out deadly attacks within Somalia, and in neighboring countries such as Kenya. Their activities include targeting civilians, government forces, and international interests, contributing to widespread insecurity. Somalia's coastline has gained notoriety for piracy, particularly in the Gulf of Aden and the Indian Ocean, posing risks to commercial vessels and maritime security. This piracy issue has drawn international attention and concern. The country's humanitarian situation is dire, with millions of people in need of humanitarian assistance due to conflict, displacement, food insecurity, and inadequate access to essential services like healthcare and education. Corruption is rampant, further aggravating challenges and hindering efforts to address the complex problems facing Somalia. Additionally, Somalia faces issues related to criminal activities such as human trafficking, smuggling, and arms trade, adding to the overall insecurity and dangers present. Number 6. Libya. Libya used to be a rich and wonderful country, but it still made it to our list of most dangerous countries in 2024. It is not safe to visit this location because of its prolonged political instability, civil war, and ongoing conflict. After the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, Libya descended into chaos due to political fragmentation and violence. The country is divided between two rival governments: the Government of National Accord, GNA, based in Tripoli, and the Libyan National Army, LNA, led by General Khalifa Haftar in the eastern city of Tobruk. This division has led to a protracted civil war, with both sides vying for control and international actors backing different factions, further complicating the situation. The conflict has resulted in widespread violence, displacement of civilians, and a humanitarian crisis. Different armed groups and militias operate with impunity, which has been aggravating security concerns. Extremist groups like ISIS have also exploited the power vacuum to carry out terrorist attacks and target civilians, adding to the instability and danger. The country's vast oil reserves have been a focal point of contention, with armed groups and factions vying for control of lucrative resources, leading to economic challenges and corruption. Infrastructure in Libya has suffered significant damage during the conflict, impacting essential services such as healthcare, education, and public utilities. This deterioration further compounds the challenges faced by the population. The lack of a unified and stable government, coupled with the presence of armed groups, extremist elements, and external interference, makes Libya a highly volatile and unsafe destination for travelers and residents. The risk of violence, kidnapping, and terrorism remains significant, highlighting the precarious situation in the country. Travelers are strongly advised to avoid non-essential travel to Libya due to the high level of risks and dangers present. Before we continue with the last 5 countries, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will be notified when we drop a new video. Number 5. Iraq. Another country you must avoid visiting is Iraq. This country is a dangerous place for travelers, owing to its ongoing conflict, security challenges, and the lingering impact of past instability. The nation has gone through significant turmoil since the 2003 invasion and subsequent insurgency, followed by the rise and fall of ISIS in the 2010. Security concerns persist, with sporadic violence including suicide bombings, assassinations, and sectarian clashes occurring in various regions. Despite efforts to improve security, these incidents continue to pose risks to both residents and visitors. The conflict has also left Iraq's infrastructure in disrepair, affecting essential services like healthcare, education, and public utilities. This deterioration adds to the challenges faced by travelers seeking reliable amenities during their stay. In terms of economy, Iraq struggles with high unemployment rates, poverty, and economic instability resulting from years of conflict. Businesses face challenges operating effectively, contributing to the overall economic hardship in the country. Corruption is a critical issue, which has governance, business practices, and public services. This lack of transparency and accountability further compounds the challenges faced by Iraqis and visitors alike. It is worth mentioning that Iraq's complex foreign relations and regional dynamics contribute to the country's security concerns. Geopolitical tensions and external influences can aggravate internal conflicts and add layers of unpredictability. Are you still planning to visit Iraq? No, right. Number 4. Yemen. Yemen is a very dangerous place for travelers, and it's best to avoid going there. The country, located in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula, has been in a devastating civil war since 2015. This war has caused a lot of violence, made many people leave their homes, and created a big crisis for the people who live there. Different groups are fighting in the war, like the government's forces, rebels called Houthis, and people who want to separate from the country. This makes the situation very complicated and unsafe. The people in Yemen are suffering a lot because of the war. Many of them don't have enough food, are getting sick, can't see a doctor, and have had to leave their homes. Crime has also gone up, with more kidnappings, robberies, and other crimes happening. Powerful groups in Yemen are involved in these illegal activities and have dangerous weapons. Yemen's government seems weak and there's a lot of corruption, making things even harder for the people there. The economy is in bad shape, with many people struggling to find jobs and make ends meet. If you're thinking about traveling to Yemen, it's not a good idea because of all these risks. So it's better to stay away and prioritize your safety. Number 3. South Sudan. Despite being the last country to gain independence, South Sudan isn't left out of our list because it has its share of insecurity. So, it is a dangerous zone due to a combination of factors contributing to ongoing instability and conflict. Since gaining independence in 2011, South Sudan has struggled with internal ethnic tensions, political power struggles, and violence. The rivalry between President Salva Kiir and former Vice President Riek Machar has been a central driver of conflict, leading to a civil war that erupted in December 2013. The civil war has been marked by brutal atrocities, including widespread violence against civilians, rape, murder, and the use of child soldiers by various armed groups. This conflict has displaced millions of people within South Sudan and led to a dire humanitarian crisis, including famine and disease outbreaks. The humanitarian situation has really deteriorated as a result of widespread poverty, lack of access to basic services such as healthcare and education, and the targeting of aid workers and journalists by armed groups. South Sudan is rich in natural resources such as oil, gold, and fertile land. However, the exploitation of these resources has often fueled further conflict and corruption, with different groups vying for control and benefiting from resource revenues while the general population suffers. The lack of effective governance, weak institutions, and ongoing insecurity contribute to a climate of lawlessness and impunity, making South Sudan a dangerous and challenging environment for residents and travelers. International organizations and most governments all around the world have issued travel advisories cautioning against travel to South Sudan due to the high level of risks, violence, and humanitarian crises present in the country. Number 2. Syria. Syria has been battling with internal crises for more than a decade. This ongoing conflict has made it one of the most violent countries in the world. The conflict in Syria began in 2011 as part of the broader Arab Spring uprisings and has since escalated into a complex and multifaceted civil war. The conflict has resulted in widespread violence, destruction of infrastructure, displacement of millions of people, and a dire humanitarian crisis. Many armed factions, including government forces, rebel groups, extremist organizations like ISIS, and Kurdish forces, are involved in the conflict, leading to a highly volatile and dangerous situation. Also, a devastating earthquake struck Syria in February 2023, resulting in significant loss of life and damage to health facilities. This disaster compounded the already dire humanitarian situation in the country, with millions of Syrians in urgent need of humanitarian assistance. It is also noteworthy that the conflict in Syria has led to economic hardships, high levels of poverty, and food insecurity. The lack of access to essential services such as healthcare and education, has further worsened the level of suffering of the Syrian population. The presence of multiple armed groups, ongoing violence, and the absence of a functioning government have created a climate of lawlessness and instability. This has made Syria a hazardous destination for journalists, aid workers, and humanitarian organizations who face risks of violence, kidnapping, and targeted attacks. Number 1. Afghanistan. For a long time, Afghanistan has been a very dangerous country for both visitors and its citizens. One big reason is the ongoing conflict and instability that has been happening for a long time. The Taliban, a group that uses violence to push their beliefs, and other extremist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda are a big threat. They attack regular people, government buildings, and even targets from other countries, making Afghanistan a risky and unstable place. Because of this conflict, many Afghans don't have enough food, healthcare, or homes. This has created a big crisis for them, and millions of people need help. Poverty is also a big problem, and the government struggles with corruption, which means they can't provide good services to the people. Afghanistan is also known for producing a lot of drugs like opium and heroin. This drug trade leads to more crime and makes the situation even more dangerous. We have come to the end of today's video. Our candid piece of advice is, stay safe wherever you are in the world. You mean so much to us. We hope this video helps you make informed decisions. Which of the countries you would consider the most dangerous? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Click the like button if you enjoy this video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for staying tuned. See you in the next one. And always stay safe. Bye.